$80 billion nuclear challenge. Will Westinghouse AI strategy win or fail? Westinghouse's $80 billion nuclear power challenge demands stronger AI power security and greater grid resilience. Westinghouse's $80 billion nuclear initiative shows you that AI growth now depends on reliable electricity, while the U.S. Department of Energy's $17.5 billion financing commitment supports deployment of 10 AP1000 reactors across 5 projects. You should recognize that construction is expected to begin by 2030, proving AI infrastructure is transforming electricity demand into one of America's highest national industrial priorities with long-term economic implications. AI data centers already consume around 5% of U.S. electricity, and demand could nearly triple, meaning you cannot separate your AI strategy from your long-term energy security planning anymore. Renewable energy remains essential, but you should understand hyperscale AI operations require dependable 24/7 baseload electricity, making nuclear power increasingly attractive for enterprise computing and critical infrastructure resilience. Westinghouse rebuilt itself after its 2017 bankruptcy, reminding you that operational failure does not end competitive advantage when organizations strengthen execution, governance, and industrial capability for future growth. The abandoned South Carolina project and delayed Vogtle expansion prove you should never assume proven technology alone guarantees project success, because execution failures can destroy billions in shareholder value. Instead of abandoning AP1000 technology, policymakers standardized reactor deployment, strengthened domestic manufacturing, and financed long lead components early, helping you understand how strategic planning reduces historical execution bottlenecks. Westinghouse partnered with Google Cloud using nearly 75 years of nuclear engineering knowledge, showing you how AI can strengthen engineering, procurement, maintenance, documentation, and construction productivity across complex infrastructure programs. AI should enhance engineering workflows instead of replacing human expertise, helping you reduce design errors, improve coordination, shorten project cycles, and maintain regulatory compliance throughout nuclear development. This initiative proves AI is no longer just software, because you must now think about electricity generation, semiconductors, cooling, transmission, uranium, manufacturing, engineering talent, and resilient industrial ecosystems together. L-Impact Solutions believes you should treat the $80 billion initiative and $17.5 billion federal financing as the beginning of a demanding execution journey rather than celebrating funding alone. America plans 10 AP1000 reactors across 5 project sites, yet only 2 large reactors entered commercial operation during the past 3 decades, reminding you execution capability remains the biggest challenge. Standardized construction may shorten delivery by nearly 3 years, but you should remember disciplined governance consistently outperforms additional capital when managing megaproject schedules and investment performance. Vogtle Units 3 and 4 were initially expected to cost around $14 billion, yet final costs exceeded $30 billion, proving you should never underestimate infrastructure execution risk. The VC Summer expansion collapsed after spending more than $9 billion, ultimately pushing Westinghouse into Chapter 11 bankruptcy during 2017, demonstrating how governance failures rapidly destroy enterprise value. Contractor failures, fabrication defects, pandemic disruptions, supply chain breakdowns, and years of delays remind you that successful infrastructure depends far more on execution excellence than ambitious engineering promises. Building 10 AP1000 reactors could support around 44,300 jobs annually during a 13-year construction period, requiring thousands of engineers, welders, inspectors, cybersecurity specialists, and experienced project leaders. Without a coordinated workforce strategy, you risk labor shortages that inflate construction costs, reduce productivity, delay commissioning, weaken quality assurance, and erode long-term investment returns across multiple reactor projects. Nuclear projects depend on reactor vessels, steam generators, forgings, safety systems, and digital controls requiring 24 to 48 months of manufacturing lead time, demanding your procurement planning starts years earlier. Every selected project must commit $1 billion in upfront equity before receiving DOE financing, showing you capital discipline and procurement certainty must advance together for successful execution. L-Impact Solutions reminds you AI should remain an engineering productivity tool because it cannot replace regulatory licensing, independent safety reviews, engineering judgment, or rigorous quality assurance verification. Data centers already consume roughly 5% of U.S. electricity. Demand could nearly triple, and national policy targets quadrupling nuclear generation within 25 years, making execution your greatest competitive differentiator. You should establish milestone-based approvals, integrated risk dashboards, standardized engineering documentation, digital procurement systems, and executive accountability before accelerating any major infrastructure investment. Managing 10 reactors, 5 project locations, $17.5 billion in financing, and $1 billion minimum project equity requires governance discipline becoming every bit as valuable as engineering capability. You can leverage AI-assisted engineering, predictive maintenance, digital twins, construction simulations, intelligent scheduling, and automated documentation while ensuring every decision remains fully traceable and regulator-ready. Westinghouse's AI platform, trained on approximately 75 years of engineering knowledge, should help you improve design consistency, reduce engineering rework, shorten procurement cycles, and strengthen quality control. You should expand supplier capacity years before construction because nuclear-grade equipment requires manufacturing timelines measured in years rather than months, leaving little room for procurement mistakes. Building 10 standardized AP1000 reactors creates economies of scale only when governments, suppliers, manufacturers, and utilities coordinate investments through long-term industrial partnerships with disciplined execution. L-Impact Solutions encourages you to invest equally in people because the projected 44,300 annual jobs, 13-year construction phase, $92.8 billion GDP contribution, and $1.03 trillion lifetime impact demands skilled talent. You should diversify financing through hyperscale AI companies, utilities, pension funds, sovereign investors, infrastructure funds, export credit agencies, and institutional lenders instead of relying solely on government support. AI computing requires uninterrupted 24/7 electricity, so you should combine nuclear generation with renewables, battery storage, flexible natural gas, intelligent demand management, and advanced transmission infrastructure. Future reactor programs should use fleet-based construction because building 10 identical AP1000 reactors across 5 sites helps standardize engineering, procurement, training, documentation, and construction sequencing. You should require independent milestone audits, monthly schedule reporting, procurement readiness reviews, supplier assessments, cybersecurity validation, and regulatory compliance throughout every project lifecycle. Detecting project deviations during the first 5% to 10% of execution costs, far less than correcting failures after major civil construction has already begun, protecting your capital investment. Supporting approximately 44,300 annual construction jobs requires universities, vocational institutes, engineering firms, AI training, robotics education, and manufacturing programs expanding years before project demand peaks. You should ensure every AI-generated engineering recommendation remains explainable, independently verified, fully traceable, and compliant with Nuclear Regulatory Commission standards before implementation. L-Impact Solutions believes countries investing simultaneously in electricity generation, transmission, manufacturing, skilled labor, AI engineering, and resilient supply chains will outperform competitors focused only on software innovation. Every AP1000 reactor generates approximately 1.1 gigawatts, meaning a fleet of 10 reactors could deliver around 11 gigawatts of dependable baseload electricity supporting AI, manufacturing, and semiconductor growth. The projected $92.8 billion construction contribution and nearly $1.03 trillion economic impact over an estimated 80-year operating life show you why disciplined infrastructure execution creates lasting national competitiveness. You should view reliable electricity as a strategic production asset because organizations integrating AI, energy security, workforce development, resilient supply chains, and disciplined governance will be best positioned for sustainable growth. Can your AI growth survive without reliable nuclear power? Comment your answer below. For more analyses, visit our consultancy website. Link in description below. Thank you.